President emphasizes on the need for a national policy to enroll students to schools. Prime Minister invites his Indian counterpart to attend the International Vesak Festival as chief guest. Half of main Lanka staff to be included into Sri Lankan Airlines. Short distance flights to be extended. Where is a report on the bond scam? Questions raised by MP Vimal Veerawansa.
පරීක්ෂණයක් කරලා වාර්තාව හදලා දැන් සෑහෙන කල්. මේ බැඳුම් කර ගනුදෙනුවට සම්බන්ධ වෙච්ච නිලධාරියෙක් ඔහු තමන්ගේ ලාච්චුවේ මේක දාගෙන ඉන්නවා.
ඒ ගැන පරීක්ෂණයක් කරන්නත් ජනාධිපතිතුමාට කියනවා පැහැදිලිවම මේ පිළිබඳව පරීක්ෂණය කරන්න.
Student from Mathura tops the grade 5 scholarship examination. Minister Dr. Rajitha Senaratne says there is a delay in probing serious acts of fraud and corruption.
Well there, very good evening to all our viewers. This is Primetime News. We are coming to you live and direct from the Newsfirst studios here in Colombo. I'm Joel Outscored.
And I'm Dasmia Thada. Let's start off with a look at tonight's top story. The Guru Pratibha Prabha ceremony to commemorate World Teachers' Day was held at the Nelumpukana Theatre in Colombo under the patronage of President Maithripala Sirisena today.
Several dignitaries, including Minister of Education Akila Viraj Karyavasam, graced the event, which was organised by the Ministry of Education. 800 teachers and principals were felicitated at the event.
I keep my house doors open if there is anyone who wants to meet me in the morning. There were parents to meet me to enroll their children to schools. When I was walking through a group of people, a young mother came crying to me and said that she prayed to God and that is why she met me there. She had prayed to God requesting for assistance to enroll her child in a school. I then asked my own conscience about the shortcomings in the system that is being implemented to enroll children to schools. There is a need to implement a vast national policy to overcome this problem.
Meanwhile, the new German ambassador to Sri Lanka as well as the new Bangladeshi High Commissioner to Sri Lanka handed over their credentials to the President today. Riaz Hamidullah presented credentials as the next High Commissioner of Bangladesh to Sri Lanka, while John Road provided his credentials as the Ambassador of Germany to Sri Lanka.
Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe has invited his Indian counterpart Narendra Modi to attend the 2017 International Vesak Festival as its chief guest. At the meeting between the two Prime Ministers in New Delhi, Prime Minister Modi had said he would respond to the invitation soon.
Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi hosted Sri Lankan Prime Minister Wickremesinghe for a lunch at Hyderabad House in New Delhi today. A statement from the Prime Minister's office quotes the Indian Prime Minister as saying that the friendship between the two nations, which had reached a level beyond diplomacy, had given root to strengthened ties between the two countries. The two Prime Ministers had also focused on the importance of maintaining the Indian Ocean region in a peaceful manner in order to ensure the safety of maritime activities in the region. Attention was also drawn to bring together the SAARC countries to eradicate terrorism and establish peace while bringing together regional members of Parliament to lay the foundation for this cause. In addition, the Prime Ministers had also discussed the crisis situation faced by the regional bloc and steps to overcome those challenges. According to the Prime Minister's office, a forum will take place in New Delhi on the 5th of November to discuss the fishermen issue at ministerial level. Early in the day, Prime Minister Wickremesinghe also met with Indian Congress Party Chief Sonia Gandhi and former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh. Attention was also drawn to the new path of development in Sri Lanka as well as regional cooperation. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe also called on Indian Minister of External Affairs Sushma Swaraj in New Delhi, where discussions took place on ensuring a better future through the establishment of good relations between the two countries. The Indian External Affairs Minister had also noted that Indian investors are keen on investing in Sri Lanka, while immediate steps need to be taken to resolve the fishermen issue.
Addressing a media briefing in New Delhi, India, Premier Ranil Wickremesinghe expressed these views on SAARC and India.
I don't think war is an option for anyone, and your Prime Minister has handled it well so far. And there have been restraints on all sides, so let's see how we can get it moving. I mean, whatever we can do, we know Your Prime Minister has taken a lot of these steps to diffuse the situation, and this is a time which you have to show whether you have the ability to lead the world or be a leading power, and he's shown the restraint that is necessary. So I think SAARC has to really now decide on two issues. One is the cross-border terrorism, wherever it happens in SAARC countries, and secondly, few areas in which we can work together. If we don't do it, there is no future for SAARC.
Parliamentarian Bimal Weerawansa charges that an investigation report prepared on the controversial central bank bond transaction has not been presented yet. It was revealed that the Perpetual Treasuries has earned an unusual profit of 5.2 billion rupees during the year 2015.
Perpetual Treasuries Limited finding of the on-site examination. මේ තියෙන්නේ මහා බැංකුවේ මෙවැනි ආයතන පිළිබඳව
The Department of the Central Bank, in which investigations are carried out with regard to these types of companies, was vested with the responsibility of inquiring and presenting a report to the board on the bond transaction that took place to the company belonging to former Central Bank Governor's son-in-law. This report was prepared in September 2016, but a certain official who is involved in this bond scam has been keeping this report in his drawer without obtaining the signatures of the relevant authorities.
අස්සන් කරන්න තියෙනවා තුන් දෙනෙකුට DGSM මේක ලාත්විය දාගෙන තියාගෙන ඉන්නවා මේක නිකුත් කරන්නේ නැහැ මණ්ඩලයට.
This is not presented to the board. Do you know why? Because this report contains the details on how the bond scam took place. Arjun Aloysius purchased a helicopter worth $2.5 million with the money that was robbed. Now they are even trying to start a newspaper. We would like to tell Arjun Aloysius and the political leader that we recommend that they name the newspaper Bonds. The newspaper is being launched to uplift the image that Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe does not have. There is no FCID or CID to look into these. This is the largest theft that happened in this country before our very eyes.
Bimal Weerawansa also charges that certain individuals from the government are attempting to hide the bond scam.
The high-ranking members of the government carried out this theft together with Arjun Mahendran and Arjun Aloysius. Because of what those people did, people suffer an economic crisis. When the former central bank governor earned an unusually high profit, Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe and the ones who follow him showed the best example on how to obtain money secretly from the country's economy and earn unusually high profits.
Journalists raised questions in this regard at the weekly cabinet media briefing today.
We have to check if the profit was earned during the recent past or longer than that. We have to check when the 5.2 billion was earned. If there is a profit that is extraordinary, there will be an investigation. That is what the Auditor General's Department is for. How can the joint opposition raise allegations? These individuals were with Namal Rajapaksa of the joint opposition up until the very end. Until midnight on the 7th, they carried out business with this so-called Aloysius. What should be looked at first is when they earned the bigger portion of this 5.2 billion, whether it was during that time or whether it was during this time. We did the basic measures. We stopped the program for continuing. That itself is a big deal. Such things did not take place in the past. If there is such an issue when you look at it, I request the President to investigate into this.
Journalists raised questions about corruption at the media briefing to announce cabinet decisions today.
We see the loss that is said to have been incurred by the central bank. That too will have to be borne by the people of the country. If you take a look at Sri Lankan Airlines, Minister Ravi said that 2.5 billion rupees will have to be paid to cancel the order placed for Airbus aircraft. According to what I know, each citizen is a debtor of 20,000 rupees. We have not called the former chairman or the current chairman of Sri Lankan with regard to this. The current administration is also incurring losses.
There are investigations against the chairman of the Sri Lankan Airlines as well. He has been summoned.
That, Minister, was regarding a corruption of 35 million rupees. Corruptions of billions have been left out and investigations are carried out about minor acts.
I accept that. They only carry out investigations with regard to minor acts of corruption. There are no investigations with regard to the major acts of corruption. We are speaking about this at the Cabinet of Ministers as well. We speak of this everywhere. Some incidents are about rice packets being distributed and even carom boards being distributed.
Why does this happen?
That is what even we cannot find out. We do not know what is happening. Even I have been looking for these things. I search for these things more than you do. There are a number of people searching for such incident, but we only receive minor acts. We have not received anything major.
The prefect was appointed for this reason. Are they not looking into this as well?
They were appointed to look into large-scale acts of fraud and corruption. They only look into minor acts. That is the biggest problem we have as well. When we inquire, they say various things.
It was revealed at a press briefing today that at least half of the staff of Mahit Lanka will be absorbed into Sri Lankan Airlines. At a press briefing organized by Sri Lankan Airlines, it was further revealed that new regional routes will be introduced to further reduce the losses of the company.
It was highlighted at the press briefing that the Sri Lankan Airlines incurred a loss of 9.03 billion rupees at the end of the financial year 2015-2016, even though it has performed well compared to the last financial year. In this backdrop, the government reversed the deal to purchase A350 aircraft that was reached in the year 2013. However, a significant amount of money had to be paid as a termination fee of the contract for the aircraft. As a further step to cut down costs, flight routes that operate to Europe were cancelled in November, while the daily London flight is still in operation. The merger of Mahit Lanka and the national carrier was extensively discussed at the press briefing.
The decision was taken to integrate the Mahit route network with Sri Lankan because on some routes we competed with each other, which made no sense. So from the winter schedule, which starts in November, all the flights out of Colombo by a Sri Lankan based carrier will be under the banner of Sri Lankan Airlines. Some of the Mahit aircraft and some of the employees will be moved across to support that operation, and the government will make a decision on the remainder. The total number of staff in Mahit is slightly less than 300, and much more than half will be coming across to Sri Lankan, and we'll seek solutions for the remainder as well. We are looking at a lot of destinations. Immediately we are taking over all the Mahit routes. So Lahore started last week, and several more are starting at the end of October. We are starting services to Gan Island in the Maldives, which we will be the only international carrier to Gan, which I think is going to be a very good route for us.
The situation pertaining to the closure of the BIA for 8 hours during daytime from the 5th of January was also discussed at the briefing.
Even the runway closure, I must make it very clear, we are totally in agreement, it has to be done. So we have to all suffer, not only Sri Lankan Airlines, even the foreign airlines. And there's going to be a drop in numbers arriving here. These again, like terminals, should have been done some years ago. So these projects got delayed and we have to face the consequences of that.
The results of the Grade 5 scholarship examination were released today.
Among the 350,740 students who faced this examination, Niran Samaravikrama from the Methodist Primary School in Urugamu, Radampala topped the rankings with 196 marks.
Koguladasan Abhishegan from the Rambe Kuluma Tamil Vidyalaya in Vaunia topped the rankings in the Tamil medium with 195 marks.
The Radampala village in the Mathura district is home to the Radampala Methodist Primary School. 416 children from rural villages such as Radampala, Galagama, Ihalamulla, Damdenya visit this school to receive their education amidst various hardships. Despite sports being categorized as an important aspect for early education, the school does not have a sports ground for extracurricular activities. In addition, an auditorium is also something new for them. Located in a premise of just over 3 acres, this school functions with only 3 buildings, and the highest expectation of the students in the school is passing the Grade 5 scholarship examination. What is noteworthy is that they do not go for extra classes, simply because the teachers here do not stick to their duty of 8 hours.
Well, now speaking to News First during the 7 p.m. primetime news bulletin on Sirius TV, Niran Samaravikrama shared his secrets to passing the examination.
I am happy about my achievement. It was the principal and my class teacher and the other teachers of my school that supported me, not forgetting my parents who backed me up to achieve this victory.
Did you go for extra classes? How did you engage in your studies?
I only attended classes conducted by my class teacher.
Did you have extra classes?
Yes, we had extra classes conducted by my class teacher in school, and my parents supported me with various scholarship papers to prepare myself.
Are there any shortcomings in your school that you would like to see being remedied?
Yes, we are short of books for our school library. I would like to ask if you could aid us with books to our library. Moreover, we have no safety fence to our school.
Sithija, although you didn't expect a gift from us, we have a gift prepared for you today. To present this gift to you, I invite Channel Head of Newsfirst, Suranga Senanayaka.
Sithija is a talented student. You made a request from us. We will fulfill that request. Through the Gum at the 100-day initiative, we will construct a safety fence to your school and fulfill the other requirements as well.
2 students have come in second place with 195 marks. Ruanya Metmi Gunasekara from the Asiduma Subaruta Central College in Kuliyapitiya and Kogulasan Abhishigan from the Rabikula Tamil Vidyalaya in Vavunia have come in second in the island. In addition, 9 other students from Kegol, Kuliyapitiya, Ibbagamua, Trincomalee and Girula have come in third with 194 marks. Notably, the students who came in second and third from the island are both from the Asiduma Subaruta Central College in Kuliyapitiya.
In the present-day society, more than for the students, the Grade 5 scholarship examination is a test for parents who want to enroll their students to better schools.
Therefore, children who need to be given time to play and enjoy are most often deprived of that and are pressured to go for extra classes and focus more on their studies.
Now, experts call for parents to look at the bigger picture when it comes to examinations.
ශිෂ්‍යත්ව විභාගයේ ප්‍රතිඵල මතම දරුවෙකුගේ අනාගතය තීරණය කරන්නට බෑ.
You cannot predict the future of a student just by looking at a scholarship result. I was not someone who sat for the Grade 5 scholarship examination. Neither did I receive great results at the ordinary level examination. After resitting my advanced level for the 3rd time, I received university entrance and then obtained an A class from the university. Therefore, what I am trying to say is that just because you receive a low result for the Grade 5 scholarship examination, you must not break down mentally. Do not consider your life as a failure.
බැහැයි කියන මතයට එළඹෙන්නට එපා.
අපි ඔයගේ විශ්වත්ව පන්ති ගියෙත් නැහැ.
We never attended scholarship classes. However, today children have no time to spare and engage themselves with either reading a book or even to feel the beauty of nature.
කුරුල්ලෙකුගේ සද්දයක්වත් ඇහෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඒව ඔක්කොම අහිමි වෙලා ළමයින්ට.
A series of protests was staged by the estate workers in a number of areas today as well, calling for their daily wage to be increased to 1,000 rupees.
The estate workers demanded that their daily wage be increased to 1,000 rupees and the shifts per month be increased to 25. Estate workers of Radalla, Norelia engaged in a demonstration today. Heavy vehicular traffic was reported due to the obstruction of the Hatton-Norelia main road. Workers from 7 estates in Bulat Sinhala engaged in the demonstration today. Vehicular traffic was reported along the Bhagwantalawa Hatton main road. This is a demonstration staged along the Badulla Valley-Mada main road. Heavy traffic congestion was reported in the area owing to the demonstration. Estate workers of the Alupota Vevalvatta area in Ratnapura engaged in the demonstration in the Ratnapura town. Later, the demonstrators presented a memorandum including their demands to the estate authority. Another group of estate workers from Dudamgoda, Kaluthara staged a demonstration. According to our correspondent, estate workers from 3 estates from Kaluthara engaged in the demonstration. Meanwhile, early this evening, Minister of Labour and Trade Union Relations WDJ Senevratna revealed to Parliament that trade unions representing estate workers have agreed to a daily wage of 730 rupees. The daily wage of estate workers earlier stood at 620 rupees.
Persons who face many serious issues have taken steps to direct them to the Newsfirst Gammadda 100 Days initiative. The Newsfirst team went in search of an issue faced by the locals in Balapitiya today.
Signatures were placed on a petition yesterday seeking a solution to a water crisis. The petition was signed by villagers residing in the Balapitiya Divisional Secretariat area, including the Aurora village. These residents had gone before numerous officials in order to resolve their issues. However, since they did not receive any support, they turned to the Gammadda 100-day initiative for assistance. The petition signed by these locals aspiring for a solution for their drinking water issue was handed over to us today. We at Newsfirst are prepared to be of assistance to these people who engage in a daily battle to simply obtain access to clean drinking water.
We received this particular request yesterday. Before the lapse of 24 hours, I was advised by our chairman to act swiftly and to look at what this request is. That is what we are discussing at this meeting here. You know that a project cannot be carried out haphazardly. A proper feasibility study needs to be done. We are doing this as we speak. As per a decision taken by the higher management, I was informed by our group director Shawan Daniel to commence this project next week. We have to restore the trust of these people. We need to fulfill their request. They went to the authorities, then they came to us. I have been advised as the secretary of the Gammadda Secretariat to commence this project as soon as possible and to provide these people with clean drinking water. We will carry out this project as this is now our responsibility.
The Centre for Policy Alternatives in a statement says that it is deeply concerned by a statement made by the Minister of Justice on the government's intention to proceed with amendments to the Criminal Procedure Code.
The CPA calls on the government to desist from proceeding with the bill in its present form. It adds that the government's continued insistence to move ahead with the bill is particularly problematic in light of its commitments to prevent the torture of persons detained by the state and the ongoing efforts to secure the GSP Plus preferential tariff system from the European Union. Noting that the CPA has repeatedly called on successive governments to ensure that there is greater transparency and public participation in the lawmaking process, it adds that this would require consultations with stakeholders prior to drafting legislation and ensure that draft legislation is more accessible to the public.
Tensions flared once again in Parliament over the amended value-added tax draft bill, which was presented to Parliament yesterday with the Acting Minister of Finance tabling 2 letters in the Chamber today.
Attorney General Chambers, Secretary Ministry of Finance, Colombo 1, in Act to amend the Value-Added Tax Act number 14 of 2002, I write with reference to letter dated 8 September 2016 on the above subject addressed to by the legal draftsman with a copy to me. I have considered the provisions of the said draft bill and I am of the view that the provisions of the draft bill are not inconsistent with the Constitution. The bill is not subject to any prohibitions or restrictions imposed by the 13th Amendment to the Constitution and may be enacted by the Parliament. Jayanta Jayasuriya, Attorney General.
The issue is this. When the Cabinet convened on the 12th, if you include the date as the 9th before Cabinet approval, it is printed without Cabinet approval. That is the issue which we directed to your attention.
ගරු ඔබතුමාගේ අවධානයට යොමු කරපු ප්‍රශ්නේ.
There is parliamentary tradition where it can be presented after being approved by the cabinet.
I announce my stance. Please accept it. The Attorney General has also given an explanation.
A minister can direct it to be printed as a gazette before presenting it to cabinet. There is no flaw in that. If cabinet does not approve it, the gazette will be void. If cabinet approves it, the gazette will be enforced. On previous occasions, interpretations were not sought from the Attorney General or the government printer. Why was it done for this?
MP Vimal Veeravansa, please be seated. I order you to sit. Do not make threats in the chamber. I delivered a decision yesterday. If there is something wrong in it, you can go to courts.
The acting Minister of Finance reopened this issue. He read out a letter from the government printer. It does not relate to this. He read out the letter from the Attorney General. The AG does not speak about the Gazette. Read that letter. He says that it does not violate the 13th Amendment to the Constitution. That is not the issue here.
Don't mislead the House.
If something is excluded, there is a separate place to obtain an interpretation on this. You can obtain it from there. We stated the legal manner in which this is presented.
The final decision is yours. You delivered it yesterday. Your decision comes into force. If we continue to debate against that, there will be no end to it.
In sports, it's cricket. A century by Sri Lanka A team opener Dimuth Karunaratne powered the home team to take a lead against West Indies A in their 4-day game in Colombo. Batting second, Sri Lanka A were on 348 for the loss of 8 at stumps on day 2 of the match.
A pink-coloured ball is being used for this game played in Colombo. The visitors posted 276 runs all out in their first essay after winning the toss. In reply, Lankan openers Dimuth Karunaratne and Kusal Janit Pereira posted 167 runs for the first wicket. Kusal Janit was undone for 87, while Dimuth Karunaratne smashed 131 runs. Niroshan Dikwala chipped in with 59. West Indies right-arm off-break Raheem Cornwall bagged 6 wickets for 87 runs.
No act of kindness, no matter how small, is ever wasted.
An act of kindness where the lives of 4 wild elephants trapped in an agrarian well in Kumbukadavala, Polpitigama by wildlife officers was recorded on camera. We leave you tonight with the footage of this act which restores faith in humanity.
Take care. Good night.